You are now.
Thank you, sir. Pull that back just a little bit. Right there's good. Mark is fine right there. Okay, just really fast. In honor of passing of one of our favorite talent and comedians, somebody who, even beyond his time, will still be making us laugh. This is our way of remembering Robin Williams.
I'm driving in my car, turn on the radio, I pull you closer, you just say no. You say you don't like it, I call you a liar. When we kiss, ooh, fire. Fire.
Thank you, Robin Williams.
Welcome to another episode, FilmSpeak. I'm your host, Bill. Maniacal laugh, and I'm Lana. Joanna couldn't be here today because she's super awesome.
Welcome to FilmSpeak. We have a great episode for you today. Our guests Brian Spangler and David Moak are here to tell us about what they've been up to in film.
Then we will break down the classic film, The Fisher King. This is big for me. It is my favorite Terry Gilliam, Jeff Bridges, and Robin Williams film.
I'm still pretty sad about the passing of Robin Williams. He'll be missed for a very long time.
It bothers me that too many focused on his death and not celebrated his great life and contributions. When I heard, I was transported back to the 70s when I first saw him on Happy Days, before the Mork and Mindy Show. And he has been a part of so many wonderful characters since.
That's right. Popeye, Dead Poets Society, Aladdin, and Good Will Hunting. These and others are films that will continue to find an audience and keep Mr. Williams living on in our hearts and minds.
To me, in a way, he'll always be Perry. That kind of adventurous, homeless man whose pain caused me to retrospect my own life and the things I have found important.
You do love this film.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Then let's get to it. We will see you and our guests after we watch this, brought in by Mr. Spangler.
Hey, I am sorry about Diane. No, I mean it. You know, 5 years is a long time. To be here? I mean, when we were kids, a week was a long time. A year? Shit, an eternity. Now a week is something you blow through between paychecks. A year is a fucking lease, you know, before you know it.
They won me the Derby back in '69 when I was a scout. Thomas and I just souped it up last night. Made it more aerodynamic. Yeah, that baby has never lost a race.
The first round of the 1994 Barnesville Pinewood Derby.
I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't know you were making one too. I mean, frankly, I'm glad I did, because I just want to give Thomas a fair chance at the Derby is all.
All righty, here we go in 3.
You've made a big mistake, Ben.
2.
Whoa! Hey, Dennis. Can I speak with you for a minute? How do you think that went? I mean, I know it's your first day, but you have to anticipate my need. Now, I'm not mad, but the extension cord would have been your best play. Okay? Okay. We're gonna have a great day.
I didn't even see a cord. But
it's right there. Damn it! Hello?
Cam,
Todd?
Yeah,
How are you?
I need your help.
After 5 years, you need my help?
There's no one else I could turn to.
What is it?
Tell Diane you're taking out the trash or something. Meet me on the side of the house in 5 minutes. Don't say anything else to her.
But before going inside, they locate his car in the parking lot and looked for anything suspicious.
Is there something laying out that would lead us to believe he was involved here? Could we see a gun? Could we see something else? We didn't see a firearm or anything, but we did see a pair of binoculars.
Peter, it's not right. I mean, I've lost all respect for you as a man. Wait, let me be clear about that. You're not a man. But you're still my friend. I mean, I'd kill her. Woman laid her hands on me, I'd kill her.
You could divorce him.
I'm no quitter. So?
So what?
No. I couldn't do that to my own wife. I mean, I signed on for forever, right? So it's forever.
Shit, I'll do it. Then you'd have to kill mine. I'm just messing with you guys.
Okay, I'm fine. Look, I'm fine, seriously. It's lucky the cops came. I was about to kick his ass in front of his own kid.
Cam, I wasn't even in town last night. I've been at a conference in Houston all week. I got alibis for days.
Yeah, I'm pretty far out there.
No, it's okay.
But it just feels so right.
You want a tip? Go find a hole.
Corporal Brad Miller?
Yes, sir.
Welcome home, son. Hey, let me take that for you. Only two of you today. Both going to the same place. That's unusual.
How far?
Oh, about 45 minutes. You might as well relax. Private Warren, this is your stop. Corporal Miller, I have no specific address for you.
This will be fine. It's got to be around here somewhere.
You a soldier, man?
Marine. Was. I'm done with that now.
Oh, wicked scar, man. Is that why you got that medal there?
No, it's nothing like that, man.
Becky! Hey! How are you doing?
Welcome home, baby.
Oh my God, you look gorgeous.
I missed
Hey,
you.
Dad. Son. Oh, Dad, check this out. Nice medal, huh?
Mark, this is the Distinguished Service Cross. I'm honored to meet you, sir.
Thanks. Can I have that back now?
Oh, sure, I'm sorry. Hey, at least let me buy you a drink. The VFW is right here.
No,
come on.
I don't think
you
you understand.
Yeah, come on, come on.
Understand. 3 drinks on my old man? Let's go, come on.
Ladies and gents, Mr. Brad Miller, genuine war hero. I'm not kidding. Distinguished Service Cross.
No,
drinks are on me.
So, what were you thinking? I mean, weren't you terrified?
They were all around us. I just knew we were all goners.
Hey, you should wear this.
With liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, everyone. Have a seat. I'll make this short. We've all had our fill of speeches during our careers. But we're here to welcome a new neighbor, Brad Miller. Brad was just discharged, and we're hoping he calls our town home. Some of you may notice Brad's wearing the Distinguished Service Cross. The DSC is awarded for valor and courage. One step down from the Medal of Honor. Okay, everyone, enjoy your meal.
Come on, Brad. Tell us again. Hey, what's it really like?
You guys make too much of it.
Go ahead, tell him, Brad.
He killed 12 enemy soldiers, saved the rest of his platoon.
Man, I heard he killed 30. Didn't you?
That's not the way I heard it.
What? Who the hell are you?
Sergeant Josh Farmer, 2nd Infantry. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but maybe it didn't happen quite how he said it. You remember Operation Bear Claw, don't you, Brad? How many did you kill, Brad? 20? 30?
It's not worth talking about.
Shots all around, on me. Oh, hell no. Your money ain't any good here. I got it.
Go ahead and tell this guy, Brad. Tell him what happened.
Then I'll tell it. There were dozens of Haji, almost surrounded Brad's entire squad. RPGs came first, took out nearly half the unit. Brad took charge, and the lieutenant got hit.
That's right. Yeah. You pulled them all back to a house. Held off the attacks for like 3 hours.
That right, Brad? That what really happened?
What the hell, Brad?
What unit were you in, Brad? You can tell them all that, can't you?
3rd Battalion, Marines.
If you were in the Marines, wouldn't you have gotten a Navy Cross? Looks like an Army medal you're wearing.
Hey, that's right. Something's starting to stink.
I've known guys like you claim you won medals. You didn't even earn. Makes me sick.
Sure.
You did earn that medal, didn't you?
earned the medal, Brad. Shouldn't be wearing it.
I was supposed to bring it to Alpha and give it to the real hero. But they all got this idea that I was the hero. Then there was free food and booze. And Amanda. Now I can't get rid of it.
Look, Brad, I think I can help. Recognize the name?
DeRose. That's who I was supposed to bring the medal to.
He was a good man.
He really saved all those guys?
Yes. He was a medic. Pulled a lot of men out of that fight that day. Hurt men. Dying men.
I wish you would have gotten it sooner.
Join. To the brave ones, Brad. To our fallen heroes. Well, I'll be. The city come.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't expect anyone to be up here. Hope I'm not disturbing you.
No, we were just honoring the hero.
We?
Yeah. That's strange.
No matter. A lot of strange things have been happening up here lately. Fact is, I don't usually come up this late in the day, but for some reason I just had this strong need to be here. So, you knew the DeRose boy?
No, I just had to bring him something.
What would that be?
Nothing. Nothing.
You know, DeRose and my son, they practically grew up together. More like brothers, really. They enlisted together, fought together. DeRose nearly saved my boy's life. He sewed up what was left of his arm. Unfortunately, an infection set in, took hold. Wasn't much else I could do for him after that. In the end, it just made sense they'd be buried close to each other. We adopted Josh when he was just a baby.
Sergeant Josh Farmer?
So you knew my son?
I only just met him.
That's impossible. He's been gone almost a year.
I think I need to tell you a story, Mr. Farmer.
Oh, hi, welcome back to FilmSpeak.
Yeah, bleep, bleep, bleep.
Bleep, 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 bleep. Bill's got a foul mouth. Welcome back. We're sitting here with two guests here today. We have Dave and Patrick. Am I right?
No.
David
and Brian.
And Brian.
Yes.
I think this will be the second time
You've messed up names
I've
today.
messed up names
That's okay.
today. It's a track record. I think in total this is 8 out of 23 episodes. So that's not bad.
We thank you for your preparation.
Let's keep it coming. It's a missing chromosome. You know, I can talk to you about a movie I saw one time in 1982. Somebody's name, nah, it's not there.
You're the guy to call for a lifeline, right?
for films, yeah.
Yes.
If it's what was that guy's name? I'm just like,
Right.
You're screwed.
Why are you calling me? I told you to delete my number for the show.
Well, thank you guys for coming on. Name mispronunciations and forgets and not. Please, we'll start with you, Dave.
Yes, sir.
On the end, please tell us what you've been up to in films lately, what you're currently working on.
Oh, gosh. Most recently, I got my eyeball yanked out in a science fiction film called AC-1.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, directed by William Lee. That was fun and gory. YouTube banned it, which is even more awesome.
Yeah, isn't that nice? That just gives you more notoriety.
Exactly. It makes people want to watch it, you know?
And which is just a shame, because they're going to miss the fun that I had yanking your eyeball out.
You're awesome, man. You're awesome doing that. Shaking you. Yeah, oh, yeah.
No, I can't wait to see the finished product of how that turns out.
Mm-hmm.
Is anything else that you've been working on lately?
Well, we did the Cincinnati 48s recently. But what I'm really excited about is the Cincinnati Film Festival next weekend. A film I was involved in got accepted. Something called Everything Will Be Fine. I have to, you know, prop it a little bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and looking forward to next weekend to see how it does. Yeah.
Well, you'll have to let us know. At least post on our FilmSpeak page or something how it all went and everything.
Yeah.
Now, weren't you also in the film Polycarp?
Yes. Yes, that will come out in 2015 if it's on schedule.
Okay.
Yes, a villain once again. Yeah.
It's the look, Dave.
I know it. It's the nose. God blessed me with this nose and said, you will be a villain the rest of your acting career. Well, however long it lasts.
Well, that's a good archetype, though.
Yeah, isn't it though? Yeah.
If you think about the character actors and stuff, because like your bigger bankable stars can only get so many roles, you know. But a well-acting character actor who's devoted to his craft and everything will find tons more work. Just because of the not just availability, but the unrecognizability. You know, because some of my favorite actors are character actors. I guess William H. Macy would be considered a character actor.
Yeah.
You know, and I think he's one of my top people I'd want to work with.
Very nice.
What about you, sir? What are you up to lately?
Film festivals basically right now. So IOU was a film I did recently this past spring during the Winter Film Festival competition. It's like a month long instead of 48, which allows a lot of time to develop a good script, number one, and then you know, film it and edit it and all that. But that was filmed back then, and since it started doing film festivals in August, I think I got notes on it. I think over, let me see, up to 40 laurels so far, nominations, wins for festivals that we're doing. So there's that, and there's Till Death, which we filmed a year ago. And both of those are kind of going around right now, around the US and even in London. So kind of just seeing how it pans out.
You can't show those because they're on the festival circuit, but is there any way that like our viewers can be able to find a trailer?
Yeah, so Vimeo, there's one on Vimeo, and for both, I think of Vimeo, Hands Off Productions. Jason Tostevin's the founder of Hands Off Productions, and he has a Vimeo site and Facebook pages for both those films, IOU and Till Death. Yeah.
So yeah, make sure you check those out. That's IOU and Till Death on Facebook.
On Facebook.
And that'll have the links to them seeing the trailers.
Yeah, if you go to Hands Off Productions or you go to IOU, everything's just kind of linked together. So.
Now, how was the experience in getting these movies made?
It's great. I mean, it's a 100% Columbus cast and crew. We assembled, tried to assemble the best group of individuals to work with, and both had different crew. I mean, there's some crew from one to the other. Director was different. An IOU director, and IOU was Mike McNeese. Director in Till Death was Joe Buscemi, and Jason's kind of producing and helping out directing as well during that whole experience. But dynamite cast. Till Death was like an ensemble kind of piece.
Yeah.
Where everybody pitched together. It was me and 3 other guys playing husbands, and there was a cast of wives, and a lot of interactions that my fellow husbands were doing in the scenes were hilarious.
Was it kind of like the Grand Hotel formula, with the multiple couples, multiple storylines, multiple rooms, everything connecting?
Kinda. Yeah, we had some scenes that kind of came back to. Well, the funny thing is the wives never interacted, so it was all
the men.
Yeah, so
That's that's different.
So the concept is, and it came about some of the guys, some of the filmmakers, like kind of having some drinks and talking about ideas. Is that what if you got so tired of your marriage, you just said, I got to kill her. She's got to die, but I can't do it. I'm gonna have my friend do it for me. So it's kind of that horrible bosses a little bit concept too as well.
But
it comes back to you when they turn into zombies and they're still alive. And the husbands, have to deal with having zombie, wives and how crazy it makes them. So you cut to all these different, experiences.
Strangers of the Train meet Fido.
Now, you guys were just at Dragon Con, right?
Yeah.
What was that like?
It was amazing. It's probably the best Halloween experience you'll ever have, just because these costumes are so elaborate. But during that whole costume Dragon Con thing going on, because there's like rooms all over the place with things that you've never heard of or experienced, or as far as from gaming, like board gaming, to sword fighting and all kinds of interesting things. But the film festival portion was a part of it as well, and amazing pieces from all over the world that were showing during this, and we were just honored to have IOU screening during it. So we had also Till Death the previous year screening at it as well.
Oh wow,
very cool.
So 2 years in a row, it was great to be there. A great honor.
Very nice.
That is nice. Now, Dave, with acting and stuff. Now we touched on that you get a lot of bad guys. Is there anything that you do like to get ready for portraying a character special, or is it something you just fall into?
Pretty much just fall into it. One thing I like to do is just when I get a script in hand, look at the first page. I don't start reading it. The first thought that comes to my mind is like reading a newspaper article, where you read it and the tragedy within it, you think to yourself, this really happened. Well, you approach a script the same way.
Yeah.
You look at it before you start studying and memorizing. This really happened. And when the day comes that you perform, it's really happening.
Yeah.
Okay, and you just lose yourself in it, and off
so
you go.
You find pieces in it that make it real for you.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
See, I'm a little different. For me, like finding characters is physical. I find it in the hair, the facial hair, what I'm wearing, and then after I have how the character looks, the rest of it comes for me.
It's kind of the skin for you, getting that skin and what comes about it with it.
I read something similar about Samuel L. Jackson, that he says his characters start with the hair.
Really?
And that he...
or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof. But, it starts with like, Pulp Fiction, he had the fro, he had the dreadlocks in Jackie Brown.
It's a trigger. Everybody has a certain trigger that just gets him into that mode, gets him into that mood.
Helps him get in touch. Yeah. Because once you can relate to a character, no matter what ways you find to be able to get there, then once you're there, you're able to walk with that character.
Right.
I'm finding the older I get, the less I can depend on my hair.
That's just good props, good makeup, right?
Yeah, right, yeah. More
now,
and more.
As actors, who would you both like to work with as a director?
You're talking about like in a fantasy world or
No. Like if you had your choice
of a director to work with.
What director would you want to work with?
Oh, Lord.
I think about the films that I really love. Who would?
And you can take living or dead, past or present.
Yeah.
Dead, past, present. Work with Hitchcock would be awesome.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, he wouldn't torture you because you're not a blonde. So
that's right.
There you go.
That's true.
You're safe.
Well, I love that. I guess most of the time it's just filmmakers that are edgy, willing to take chances, and willing to believe that their actors are going to do what they need to do. I think Clint Eastwood, one thing I heard that he does is really cool, is that he never says and action. He just goes and to allow them to get into the character, and then he never says
almost like
go.
you.
Oh, we've been rolling for like the last 15 minutes.
I have caught some flack because when I yell action or cut, I will lead with and
yeah,
action.
It's really bad for editing, though. When he's like, and.
But I luckily I do most of it.
Cut.
I do my own editing. So.
Let it build up.
I will sit there while I'm editing and go, God, would somebody just shut that jackass up? Oh, wait a minute.
That's
me.
Yeah, there's a lot of directors out there. There's some amazing work, and you know, it depends on what genre you really love or what you know, who you gravitate towards. But and everybody's personalities are different. So you get a certain director that can really work well with this guy. That's why you see Ridley Scott working with Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington all the time, or you know, Adam Sandler has his cast of folks all the time. So
well, yeah, James Cameron uses a lot of the same people on his crews that he used in the Roger Corman Battle of the Planets, 1979. You know, which was a B movie, just a whole, you know, fun.
Why would you even know that?
Because I'm a dork. I am like B movie dork. That's how bad I am.
we need that in this world, right? You need for trivia. You got to have somebody that knows all that shit.
Well, you know, this is the only occupation I can do where it actually comes in handy. Because anywhere else, then I'm just a misfit dork, you know. But here, it's successful.
We love you.
And we appreciate it.
Well, any last plugs or anything that you guys got coming up before we go to the next segment?
Let me check my notes because
make sure
to say certain things.
You might get reprimanded later by a director.
Don't give him any slack. Don't give him any slack because notes are good.
All right, so I got to say that Till Death and IOU have festivals coming up: Knoxville, Cincinnati, London, LA, and Austin. In Columbus, Independence Day Festival, September 19th and 20th. And the Film Festival of Columbus, October 14th and 15th. Just keeps running. There's tons of festivals that's happening for it. Again, Hands Off Productions. Jason Tossman is the founder. A lot of times we screen at Gateway Film Center in Columbus. That's kind of our unofficial home, and they always support independent filmmaking in the Ohio, Columbus area.
Where do you get the time?
To what?
To have a career. I don't have that time.
Oh, you got to make time. I'm night times and weekends, burn the candle at both ends.
Well, you know what it comes down to is be like me and just starve. Because you know, it's all I want to do is film. It's the only thing I am doing, and I'm currently going to be boiling the shoe leather so that I can eat tonight. An old-fashioned Bolshevik Russian style.
There you go. Bread sandwiches.
I'll send him home with the extra donuts. Don't worry.
Most people go to Burger King. You go to Payless Shoes.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, you can get some leather shoes and potatoes. I'll take what I can get.
Awesome.
Any final thoughts for you, Dave, before we move?
Well, you asked earlier.
Cincy Film Festival.
Yes. Well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we'll be there at your festival.
You
should be.
Yeah. Hopefully. You know, maybe we'll see each other down there.
Who knows?
Yeah.
I think I got to go out of town next weekend though.
And get out and support independent film. I think that's a big message these guys
Which
are carrying.
film is that?
Everything will be fine.
Everything will be fine.
Yeah, by Patrick
and
M. Lipscomb.
Which one's showing at Cincinnati?
IOU should be.
Okay.
Yep.
Cincinnati Film Festival. Check it out.
Yeah, so check out independent film in Cincinnati and give these guys some props. And Columbus too. That Gateway Theater
Not
sounds
far.
awesome. So get there and support them too, because anybody who supports independent film should have some backing.
Yep.
And please join us here after we show you some BS. Then we'll be looping it back around again and coming back here to talk about The Fisher King. See you in a minute. And now for something completely different.
Pop Pops.
And this is how you slice celery.
I was thinking about the upcoming election. It doesn't matter who wins. Either way, we're going to get screwed. And if somebody's going to be screwing me, I wish they'd be a lot hotter.
Maybe their wives should run. I'd tap that. Don't choke the chicken, gently pour it.
So the woodpecker and the gerbil, you know, they got off and hold on. And so the pecker went in and just sat down in the thing. Oh man, and then it went in and said, oh, it was great. I just So then it was said, you know what I'm saying, don't you? I mean, come on. You know what I mean. And so then the chicken, why did the chicken cross the road? The chicken crossed the road because of something with a ham sandwich and the port of beer over at the Kentucky Fried Chicken wanted biscuits. You know what I'm saying.
So, what's the dirtiest thing ever said on television?
Tell me.
Ward, you were a little hard on the beaver last
Yes.
night. Welcome back to FilmSpeak. We were just being obnoxious.
Yes.
It's a good thing, though. Keeps our energy up. You know, if we didn't do that, we'd have to do drugs in between segment, and then they'd ban us. Welcome to FilmSpeak, while we're talking about Fisher King with our guests here.
Brian
Hello.
and David.
Brian and David.
Hello.
Thank you, Lana.
You're welcome.
Talk about the Terry Gilliam classic movie, The Fisher King. Yes. This is, before I can give it to anybody else, I have to say this is one of my favorite movies of all time, that I can never watch it and not be touched. It's just emotionally, mentally encapsulating. Just
Captivating?
Captivating. Just a beautiful movie. Now let me start with you guys. Dave, what do you think of The Fisher King?
I think it really, not so much the movie, but it really gives you an insight of what was going on in Robin Williams' mind at that time. Okay, I mean, he didn't just, there was a scene where he was confronted by Jeff Bridges and just has a meltdown out in the street.
Yeah.
You know, and you see that horse, just hell on a horse coming at him, and you could see what really goes on in his head, and that was the only venting he had, really, was his acting.
Yeah.
If he was to do that in real life, they would put him away a long time ago, before that. But you can see in that moment that he was really there, yeah, and letting that out.
I thought that was a perfect example of a psychological break, too, because if you got somebody who builds up a fantasy world that they perceive reality through, and then you tear that away from them, that is almost the reaction. Because I've seen people have a psychotic breakdown before, and I thought he captured that very well. And what is your impact from the?
I mean, I'm always watching movies for great writing, and then how does the actor manipulate that writing and make it dance? And I mean, Robin Williams just makes it dance all through the whole entire film. It's such complex writing, and Terry Gilliam is brilliant. You know, from you know, Monty Python's Holy Grail to this movie to Brazil to whatever.
Yeah,
it's great. You know, great in general. And then I watch the cast, like how do they interact with each other? And Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams is amazing. The scene where they're in the park and he strips down and he's naked running around the park, and how Jeff Bridges is reacting to that. And it's just it's great. It's a great movie.
Which is an awesome scene, because you know they really just went out 5 o'clock in the morning, 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, and stripped down naked in Central Park and shot that.
Yeah, yeah.
You would totally do that.
I would totally.
I mean, that's an extreme comfort level for an actor to be like, I'm okay with you being naked in front of me, and also me grabbing and holding on to you, giving you a hug.
Yeah.
You're still naked. And we're giving these lines, and everything's just flowing. So
this is a little off topic, but to touch on that, James Dean, when he did the movie Giant, 1956, I think it was, before he passed away, somewhere around there, 55. He said that the hardest thing he ever had to do was, because you see him, he's by himself with the oil rig behind him and stuff, and he whips it out and takes a pee, right? And he said that was the hardest thing he ever had to do as an actor, because on the other side of the camera is 100 people there standing, watching him take a leak on set, and that kind of touches onto that.
Find a way to be vulnerable. Find a way to be vulnerable right away. And the biggest way is just be naked totally, but it's difficult to be emotionally vulnerable, but then also physically vulnerable too.
They'd have to dub in the sound for me to do it.
Stage fright?
Yeah.
That's where the fluffer comes
Stunt
in.
penis. But I couldn't help that. Something also that's kind of remarkable is, Robin Williams based the character of Perry off a real person.
I'm sure.
There's a homeless man in New York, they call him Radio Man, and he shows up at movie sets.
Okay.
That's why he says that radio waves tell him where they're shooting movies. And he befriended Robin Williams and Jeff Bridges, and Robin Williams based Perry off Radio Man.
Oh, that's great.
Even the way he dresses, the dancing and everything, that is all this character that he tried to make real.
Yeah. And Robin's always been brilliant about just taking some kind of inspiration and turning it into
blowing it up.
Magic.
Would you?
Now, isn't one of his requirements on the films that he was in, didn't he ask them to have so many homeless people working as crew?
I believe so. I think.
Yeah.
And I think.
I don't know if that happened on this film,
I've read that.
Yeah.
Well, there's such a societal theme throughout all of it of taking care of those disenfranchised and poor, poverty. Just supporting that rather than making a scene of it. And I think the scene towards the end of the movie where he's with the corporate guys and trying to make up a sketch or a comedy show
for him to be in,
because they want to make it look serious and depressing when it doesn't have to be serious and depressing. These guys are full of life. They got their own world going on. They're happy right now. It's what they chose, at least at that moment.
Well, yeah, and it made it real too, and to show that these are people who not necessarily are down and out completely,
right.
But they've just found themselves in a situation where, like Robin Williams' character Perry, he lost everything, lost his mind, came out of it, he invented a whole new world for himself, and he's comfortable and happy in there. And if you try to rip him out of that, it tears him apart, like the scene you were talking about with the Red Knight, because that's what the Red Knight really represents.
That's what he guards himself with.
Yeah, the Red Knight is reality. With and it has that whole implication of the fire and the smoke burning from within outwards instead of outwards in, and I think that kind of carried that the weight of what Perry was going through.
Yeah.
And so, go ahead.
So Gilliam was just all the messages throughout the film, because you can make things obvious, like here's a message, there you go, but to put it in like colorful dialogue, like they're in the train station, and the guy that was in a wheelchair,
Tom Waits.
Yeah, so exactly. So he was some guy was coming by trying to give him some change, falls on the ground. Jeff Bridges is like, oh, it looks like he missed a cup, and then the guy's like, no, he pays to miss me.
Yeah.
These little things of people just not thinking about.
Pays me so he doesn't have to see me.
Yeah, pays me so he doesn't have to see me.
I was reading a little bit behind the scenes with Terry Gilliam regarding this film, and he was talking about Robin Williams' performance, to where he would get what he wanted out of Robin, but Robin would want to do another take and then another one. He said it got to the point where he had to stop him because he was just hurting himself.
Yeah.
By how far he was taking
the character and stuff.
Yeah, it's amazing.
That's and there's a lot of pain in that performance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all because filmmaking for me a lot of times is being subtle, know. And his pain was subtle because on the exterior he was showing this bright, happy, adventurous guy, but lurking right under that constantly was just this giant lake of sorrow.
Yeah, it's dangerous territory though if you're a director trying to bring out as much as you can from an actor, because sometimes you turn into psychoanalysis and there's gonna be some stuff that comes out that you probably need to be at an actual psychiatrist to deal with that, but Robin was always pushing limits on that, and I've taken scene study classes where I've seen teachers stop and say, let's bring that down some, because you're discovering territory of your past, and whatever you're bringing up is affecting the scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
And another thing about the Fisher King is I want to bring up Mercedes Raoul.
Oh yeah.
What a tremendous, understated performance from her. And she's the only one in the whole movie to walk away with an Academy Award.
Yeah.
She got an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress, which I was at the time very upset because I was like, this movie should have got Best Picture. Robin Williams should have got Best Actor. He wasn't even nominated at the time. Was very, very upset. But she gave a commanding performance that I thought was deserved of it.
Yeah.
Just to keep up with him.
Just to keep up with Jeff Bridges and Robin Williams.
Every time I'm watching
That's a task right there
Yeah.
itself.
I'm reminded of like the Marissa Tomei and My Cousin Vinny,
Yeah.
with like her characters like very similar, and
I can
both
see
have
that.
both have this want of I want to get married, I want to settle down, and you got all this crazy stuff.
Both of
going
them
on.
won an Academy Award for the role
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
Something else before we work towards the close of this, I wanted to talk about the cinematography that was established in the movie. Gilliam's such a visual director, and you take The Fisher King was his first, I guess you consider, more grown-up movie, because he had Time Bandits, Brazil, and The Adventures of Baron von Munchausen, and those were the trilogy of imagination, you know. And then the next movie after those three was The Fisher King, which was, these tales, kind of fairy tale, fanciful, still dark, and then to move on to The Fisher King, because I went to go see it. I was 21 years old, going to the movie theater thinking, this is going to be awesome, it's going to be, because I was thinking, Robin Williams, Adventures of Baron von Munchausen, and then I got there, I cried. I walked out of the theater weeping. I mean, just emptying my heart.
Well, the angles, the angles, the shots that he sets up can be so emotional, can provide a certain, I think the low upward angle he does a lot, and then Tim Burton I think did it quite a bit with Batman.
The scene towards the end when Jeff Bridges is laying his head on the bed, and Robin Williams finally comes out of the coma, and he sits up, just puts his hand, and it's that shot. It's right there in front of Jeff Bridges' face, and you got a little bit of Robin Williams over the top. That's just wow.
No, yeah, I mean the whole like some shots were like fishbowl. Some were, it creates a certain emotion. And
the Grand Central Station scene, they had to film that in the middle of the night. When you're watching that's 2 o'clock in the morning, and those are lights out on the street in New York City, illuminating the outside to make it look like it's 5 in the afternoon. And that whole scene where everybody's walking, and then all of a sudden it's like somebody went,
and they start dancing,
and they're waltzing, and then it's again, and everybody just breaks apart.
His pursuit of her became a dance.
Yes.
And you could see in his body movements as he's moving through the crowd, following her. He's almost doing a waltz as he's following.
And while we're on it too, Amanda Plummer, what a tremendous performance from her.
She was Robin Williams' love
girlfriend.
interest?
Yeah.
She's always so quirky and weird. Like it's tough to watch her sometimes, but she's still amazing.
She's in 3 of my favorite movies that I watch constantly. One is The Fisher King, Pulp Fiction. Of course.
That's right.
And then Joe versus.
She's Bunny, right? In Pulp
She is
Fiction?
Bunny in the beginning.
You almost have to wonder if Gilliam, he probably knew Robin Williams well enough to know his bipolar or his depression, his pain, enough to where he could. I almost have to wonder if he took advantage of Robin's emotional state to draw it into this film.
Or did Robin Williams do it himself?
Well,
exactly. If it was Terry Gilliam pulling it out of him, or if it was Robin Williams putting it in, or maybe combination of both.
And that's got to be communication between both director and actor to say, I'm going to take it this far. Are you okay with that? Just going back.
But in the world of improv, man, you don't know where it's going to go.
Well, yeah, you hear countless stories of Robin being on set and people just taking it back because he'll just control the whole scene. They have so much footage of him just riffing stuff.
Not even on set, because you take Aladdin, and they actually had to change animations to fit him, because when he was doing the songs and recordings, he was running through so many different characters and doing so much stuff that they're like, we can't leave this behind. Let's just redo the animations to fit it. And it's brilliant.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you watch what he does in just a minute, and he goes through so many characters. In his head, and I can see how being kind of like that, it's like trying to get on a out of control merry-go-round.
Yeah.
It's like trying to jump on, and man, when you can't focus on something, and you're just bouncing around, and you're trying to get on there to control it. It's very frustrating.
I read a very poignant interview with Ethan Hawke, who was talking about he considered Robin Williams a mentor, helped get him his agent that he still uses today. When they did the Dead Poets Society together, you know, and he said in retrospect, looking back all those years, I realized Robin Williams was making everybody around him laugh, but never laughed himself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like his calling was to make everyone else except himself. He forgot himself.
But a little back to the Fisher King. Try to cheer things up a little bit. Some Easter eggs in the video store. You can see posters for both Brazil and Adventures of Baron Munchausen hanging in the store.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah.
Which is really cool. I don't know, I think that's just about it. I know Jack was modeled after Howard Stern.
Oh, really?
And they tried to get Howard.
I mean, there's a lot of like DJs that are kind of like that, but it's interesting that they made it Howard Stern.
They wanted Howard Stern. They asked him to give tapes so that Jeff Bridges could study them. And Howard Stern said, no, but you can pay me to come on and be a consultant.
Right.
And Terry Gilliam was just like, you know what, we could just do it without you.
But his DJ voice was amazing. Like you're like, okay, well, Jeff Bridges could have been a radio DJ for sure.
Easily. Easily. And he did. I think he nailed that role. And you know, I think it's very cool to show the bouncing back and forth of his character, of how he feels and empathizes for other people, and then turn around and coldly leaves that behind.
Yeah, such a roller coaster for an actor to do, right? To break that up, and I don't know how they shot the scenes, but to kind of have that evolution or always go back to one type of want or drive for the actor.
That is why the Fisher King's my favorite Jeff Bridges role. I mean, and I'm a huge Big Lebowski fan.
Sure.
I freaking love the Big Lebowski. Watch that almost as much.
Yeah.
But I think that the quality of work that he does in the Fisher King, it just reaches out to me every time.
Yeah, I mean, I have the debate with other actors and filmmaking individuals that either you're a great strong character actor that you can just go into the skin, or you're actually yourself quite a bit, and you have to show a lot of emotionality and vulnerability. And I think that's what you love about Jeff Bridges so much, and that is he's so vulnerable through the whole movie.
Yeah, there is a level of vulnerability that he just carries.
Yeah, it's you're rooting for redemption for that man, for that character.
Yeah, and he is. It's like okay, he loses it all, redemption, loses it all again, redemption. It's a whole hero cycle. Well, any final wrap-ups?
I think it's one of Robin Williams' best performances.
Absolutely.
Ever.
Yes. You gentlemen?
I'm torn as far as, because he's got so many great pieces of work. There's a few like Dead Poets Society and Fisher King.
Good Will Hunting.
Good Will Hunting.
Yeah, another great role
One
for
of
him.
many.
One of many.
Yeah.
For you, sir?
It left me with feeling concerned for him, not only the character but also the actor.
The actor. Yeah. And that was back in '91.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Quite a toss back ago. So I guess another conclusion of the whole group here is if you haven't seen The Fisher King, you should probably run out today and go watch it.
Watch it.
Yes. And watch it with an open mind and an open heart, because if it doesn't mentally and emotionally affect you, then you're a cold bastard. And probably should be watching movies anyways. Thank you, everybody. Good night. Mwah.
What is that? I swear, if you puke today, I'm going to kill you. With my bare hands. Or a spoon, whichever.
Or a spoon. We know. This is the good stuff.
That was a great show. Thank you to David and Brian for coming on. We hope you had a fun time.
Join us next time when I will eat a whole raw blowfish.
Whoa, I'm pretty sure that will kill you.
We couldn't be so lucky.
You're right there. How about a Robin Williams movie quote before we close?
To quote from Whitman, "O me, O life, of these questions of thee reoccurring, of the endless trains of the faithless, of cities filled with the foolish, what good amid these, O thee, O life? Answer, that you are here, that life exists in identity, that the powerful play goes on, and that you may contribute but a verse. That powerful play goes on, and you may contribute a verse.
What will your verse be?
So you quote Williams and Whitman at once. Nicely played. Please check us out on Facebook.
That is at facebook.com/talkfilmstome, one word.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Watch us on Facebook.